Most people who try budgeting often still live paycheck to paycheck. It's not because they're bad with money, it's because budgeting is often the wrong tool. Budgeting is probably the most common personal finance tool out there. You know what they say, track everything, categorize your spending, and stick to the plan. And on paper, that sounds logical. But in real life, most people who try budgeting end up falling off in just a few weeks. Then they feel like they're the problem. Well, I'm here to tell you they're not. The system is the problem. And this isn't anecdotal or top of my head kind of thing. No, most surveys show that 20 to 30% of people who create budgets actually stick and adhere to them. So when budgeting isn't working for most people, that's not a personal failure. That's a design issue. The biggest issue with budgeting is that it relies entirely on willpower. You're expected to constantly track, check, and adjust and say no to yourself over and over again. And most people don't spend logically. They spend emotionally, they spend out of habit, they spend when they're busy, they're tired, stressed, or celebrating something. And a spreadsheet isn't going to change that. So when life gets busy, budgeting is usually the first thing to go. Let me give you a simple example, okay? Here's a scenario based on patterns that I've seen when I used to consult individuals. Now, let's go call this person Alex. Alex makes $70,000 a year. And after taxes, that's about $4,500 a month take home that's hitting his checking account. So here's what Alex's budget looks like on paper. We have rent at $1,500 a month, utilities and internet at $250, groceries is $600, eating out and coffee amounts to about $400, car and gas is just $450, subscriptions and miscellaneous equals $300, and he gives himself $500 for savings. Now, on paper, it works. Everything's accounted for, everything's laid out, and Alex can feel in control of his budget. But here's where it normally goes wrong. Week 1, Alex tracks everything. Week 2, work starts to get busy and a few expenses don't get really tracked. And week 3, Alex is a lot more busy at work. He has a couple more dinners that turn from $400 that's supposed to be allotted a month now into $600 a month. By the end of the month, Alex checks his budget and starts to wonder what went wrong, what happened. And at that point, Alex starts to feel like he's failed. He feels like he's lacking discipline and maybe budgeting just isn't for him. But the truth is, guys, this was never a personal failure. It's a system failure. This pattern happens so much over and over. Any system that depends on constant discipline eventually breaks. Now let's take the standpoint of businesses, okay? Businesses do things a little bit differently than normal day-to-day people. Businesses don't rely on willpower to move money around. They automate cash flow. Here's what that looks like. As soon as revenue comes in, certain amounts automatically go to taxes, payroll, savings, investing, and whatever's left is what they have to spend. That same idea works incredibly well for personal finance. Now let's cut back and rewind to Alex's situation. He's still making $4,500 a month, but instead of budgeting every dollar, we automate the important stuff first. So here's what we're gonna do. $500 will move automatically into savings the day Alex gets paid. $300 automatically goes to an investment account. Now the nice part about this is Alex never has to decide whether to invest or save. Everything's already happened for him. And we're gonna set all his bills to auto pay. So that way, whatever's left in Alex's checking account is just guilt-free spending money. And if Alex spends a little more on groceries one month and eats out a little bit less in the next month, it doesn't matter. All his goals are already funded. Now with this kind of a system, there's no daily tracking, no constant self-control, and no feeling like he's a failure at the end of the month. And here's the part that really matters. Everything I've mentioned sounds super simple. Budgeting is such an easy concept. It's so easy to do, everybody can do it. But a lot of people still struggle to maintain this kind of discipline over time. Because after all, we're just humans, and over time, we tend to get lenient. Most people base their budget on a ballpark figure. They don't really track down the expense to the T. So when they go and write their budget, they have a general sense of what it should equal, depending on the bill, depending on how much they spend, and they just try to keep it in their mind. Now that's all fine if you actually get the right figure, but if you don't track everything and have a good system running in the background, when you're constantly spending and spending, you might think like, oh, I still have X amount of money left over, when in reality, you actually don't. You might be going a little bit more overboard than what you estimated. And with this core principle we just talked about on automation, on budgeting, this leaves out willpower, thinking, and human error. So here's the core rule I want you to remember. If your money system needs constant discipline, it's going to fail. A good system works even when motivation is low. Saving, investing, and paying bills should happen automatically. Spending decisions should happen last, not first. And that shift alone is why some people feel calm about money while others feel behind. Now to wrap this video up, I want to ask you guys, have you ever tried budgeting before? What was it that steered you off the course of budgeting? Was it the tracking? Was it staying consistent? Or was it feeling just restricted all the time? Go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd love to see what made budgeting hard for you. If this was helpful, guys, drop a like and subscribe for more personal finance content. I'll be coming out with some more videos here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.